Hi there. We get a lot of people that are asking us constantly just to kind of show them the basics of WordPress. And for anyone who's used WordPress, that seems ridiculous because it's very simple and easy to use. But since we have a lot of clients requesting this, we thought we'd put together kind of a quick video that shows people basically, all the basic features that WordPress has, because we build a lot of sites on the platform and a lot of people use it. And it's, to be honest, it's probably the best thing out there right now to have a website with, the best CMS, content management system you could use. So let's get started. So I'm going to show you today's example using the Apex blog. We're just going to do kind of a test throwaway post, but I'm going to show you all the features and everything, how to log in and all that good stuff. So to get started, let me pull this down a little bit. You're going to see right here we've got our domain address. The typical WordPress login page is WP admin. So just keep that in mind. You remember that, you'll never forget where to log in. And usually that'll redirect you to a page like this. So I'm just going to pull this guy back up here so I have the full screen. And I'm going to put in Apex Digital Media. In our case, we have a CAPTCHA on here that asks you a question just to make sure you're not a robot trying to hack us. So once you're into WordPress, you're going to see kind of this basic landing page, and it's really great. At this first page, it's going to show you here's something that's updated recently. Here's a bunch of different, this is our spam shield, which is a plugin that blocks spam, showing how many spam has been blocked. Recently published articles. This is our most recent one. You can go back and see all these. WordPress news. Over here on the left is going to be kind of your basic control panel, though. This is where you're going to do most of your work in WordPress. So Jetpack is a plugin. We won't go over that right now. These 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 main sections are going to be where you're creating content or editing content or working with content. These bottom parts are usually for an admin. If you're not an admin, you'll probably only see a few of these. If you're an editor or just a contributor, you'll probably have a more limited view. But for the purposes of continuity, we did this one in the admin version of it. So this kind of has everything. And so let's get started. So basically, WordPress kind of breaks everything up into two different types of, I guess what's the word, classifications. They have posts and pages. So pages are like static things. If you have a website, you have an about page, a contact us page, prices, whatever. Those are static pages that don't really change a lot. So that's what pages are for. Posts are more for blog type content where you're going to be constantly making posts 3 or 4 a day or something like that. And the difference is posts are kind of automatically lumped into categories, and WordPress classifies them by date, depending on how you set it, but usually in descending order. So it starts with the most recent and then goes back from there. So anyway, let's go into the post section real quick. And when you look at this, you'll have all posts, add new, categories, tags. Categories section is where you add categories for your posts, obviously. Tags are a way to classify posts. So if you do recipes or you're vegan or something, you put the tag vegan in all your vegan posts, and then that makes it easier for vegans to find you, just to give you a quick idea there. So here in all posts, you're going to see pretty much you have all your posts. You can sort here if you want by the date. We currently have it set to the most recent first, but you can go back and see the oldest. You can sort it the other way, where it's like here's our first post from 2014, way back in the day. But let's kind of go into the actual admin of the post so you can see how everything works there. So basically, here's the standard body of a post, and remember that this is kind of your top level interface over here, but to the right over here is where you're going to have the kind of admin section for your individual posts. So let me kind of walk you through this real quick, because this is the first thing you're going to see. So here you have the publish section. This is a post that's already published, so if you need to update it or anything, you can do that. You can change the status from public to draft. So if you want to take it off the site and edit it some more, you can change the date that it was published. You know, say you want to change it to a different date. Maybe you want to move it forward, you want to move it backwards, whatever. Down here are your categories. You'll see this one's in digital advertising and e-commerce, but you can select or deselect any kind of categories. You can add tags here. And here's a really important one, featured image. So let me walk you through this. Featured image is usually the way WordPress handles a post. It attaches that featured image. So when WordPress classifies your content into little blocks or arranges it, it'll use a thumbnail of this featured image to show the post. Or, you know, let me show you actually on the front page how that looks again, just so you can see. Here's our featured image. So this is kind of like the showcase image that you know, WordPress will go ahead and show to the users in the preview, and then you click into read more, and you got the full featured image, and you know, this little thumbnail too. So back to the editing window. Here's how you add a featured image. It's going to start, if you don't already have one in here, you're going to have the set featured image link. You're going to jump in here, and you'll have a library of either existing photos, but you can also upload files. So just go over here, select a file from your desktop. We'll do this one. And then you can set this, obviously, as your featured image. Now, if you don't want this, or here's where you set the title. You can set a caption, alt text, etc. But if you don't want it here, there's also this option right here to delete permanently. I'm going to do that because I don't want that. So I'm going to put this one back as my featured image. And when you're ready to save, you can save right here. So the next thing I'm going to do real quick for you is go over the actual posting interface. Now there's two different, to start, you have your add media here. This takes you to the same place that featured image link did I showed you earlier, your little media library, which is also over here, which we'll touch on again in just a minute. But here is where basically you have your post editing. And it's just like Microsoft Word in a lot of ways. You know, you can bold text like that. You can italic text. You can cross text. You can make lists, bulleted lists, add a block quote, add links. To start, usually WordPress only has this one line here, so you'll see this little toolbar toggle button that opens up another level of options where you can change. And this has your headings. So in a lot of cases, you're going to want to put a heading. This particular post doesn't have headings on it, but you know, if you are doing things right for SEO purposes and everything, you definitely want to have, you know, some header text. So that's kind of what these little text controls do. They give you that ability to call out header text, you know, and use different types of formatted texts. The rest of this is pretty simple stuff. You know, you can justify the text, left align, center. One thing that's kind of cool, let me show you, is the image dialog too. Here you can align your image where you want. Right now I have it aligned left, but if I wanted to move it to the right, I can do that. There's also this edit window where you can change the size of the image. It gives you several options here. You can also center line in here, add your caption. You can link it somewhere. If you do custom URL, you can put in any link you want in there. So you basically have a lot of different options there. And then, of course, once you're ready, hit this save button, and it's really that simple. So that's kind of the overall. This is going to be a really quick overview. It's just really basic stuff for people who are just kind of dipping their toes into WordPress. But over here you'll also see there's a media library, and this just takes you over to your media library. It'll give you that warning. I don't want to save anything I did on this post. So, but here's all of our existing photos, and you can upload all kinds of stuff to this library. It doesn't just have to be images. You can do audio files, PDFs, video files, and pretty much anything you want, and embed these files into your posts. So this is where your media library is. Here's your pages, and just to return to that, this particular site doesn't have any pages because it's a blog, but a typical site would have, you know, an about us, contact, that kind of thing. And you can. This is where you go into them, just like in the post sections, and edit them. And then comments. You know, if you run a blog, you'll have people link back to you. You have comments here. You can approve or unapprove, reply, edit the comment, trash it, delete it, anything you need to. And feedback is just, again, this is another kind of similar to comments where you'll have people respond and you can edit and approve those types of things there. So that's pretty much the basic overview. We can go a lot deeper than that. There's a lot more features that WordPress has to offer, but the goal here was really just to give people kind of a basic overview of how to get started and how to start posting content on WordPress. Thank you so much, and hope that you have a long career as an amazing blogger after you watch this video. Take care.